This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can find options that fit your budget and potentially lower your bills. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Money used to be so much more simple.
Yeah, and now apparently we need 6 side hustles,
Own several investment properties,
max out that Roth IRA,
travel the world,
drink that iced coffee that's $7 every morning,
Amber, and somehow still have enough money to buy a house.
And have you seen the house prices lately?
Well, yeah, it's what I do for a living every day, but it's outrageous. But today we're going deeper than TikTok and social media money advice.
Because money doesn't just affect what we buy, it affects who we date, who we marry, what we fight about, what we hide, and sometimes it even decides whether a relationship survives or not.
And so today we're talking money, relationships, wealth, debt, and the broke decisions that we pretend that we haven't made, but we all know that we have.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Jenn.
And I'm Amber.
And this is Snatched Up. Do us a favor.
Hit like and follow
on the platform that you're currently listening to. And please give us that 5-star review,
because we will not disappoint you.
You know, Amber, I think everybody has a story.
Yeah.
In regards to something financial that has entered into a relationship. Would you agree?
Oh, yeah. People have disagreements regarding finances all the time. In fact, one study of couples found that financial disagreements were among the strongest disagreement type associated with divorce for both husbands and wives.
Oh, yeah. I remember us reading that and researching it. They also said that once financial disagreements were considered, financial well-being itself was not associated with divorce.
Which suggests that the conflict around money may matter as much as the amount of money as a couple has.
But it's the arguments that lead to divorce, right? That's
yeah.
what I'm reading.
There's such an emotional thing that goes on with it as well. It's not just about the numbers. A lot of times the financial arguments and disagreements can hurt way more than any other type of argument or disagreement that you have.
But at what point do you talk about finances in a relationship? Because I don't know.
That is a good question. Like, at what point is it acceptable?
So, do you think you should know somebody's credit score? Now, I don't think you should know them before dating or anything like that, but before you got married to them, I definitely
definitely think you should too.
Yeah.
I think you should definitely be on the same financial page. I actually did talk to one financial expert one time. I don't even know if we talked about this, but he told me that there was a woman that he was dating at one point, and he was considering if he wanted to go any further. And he's like, her money habits were so bad that they were a deal breaker for him.
Yeah.
He's like, I'd been responsible financially. Mm-hmm. And so I think even that conversation and then us looking into some of this for this episode has made me realize, like, hey, like, if you want somebody that's going to be financially stable and responsible, then you need to be that yourself too, right?
Well, yeah, because I think that then you become opposite. If somebody is dead set that they do not like to go out to dinner and they don't like to spend, but you like to go out to nice dinners, then you're probably not going to mesh, right?
No. Yeah. And then you need somebody who's going to be financially aligned with you on that aspect too.
Make sure you're aligned. I agree. But at what point do you say, okay, we're going to be husband and wife and we're going to join all our finances together? I know that is a scary thing.
Well, I don't want you seeing how much money I spend on my Starbucks every day, or if I'm going to get Botox or what. But I hadn't done that in a long time. But yeah. And then who pays for the majority of the household stuff when you're talking about the house? If you make 70% of the income, should you pay for 70% of the expenses?
I don't know. I've always gotten stuck paying for all of it. So I don't really know.
I used to think like, percentage is a good way to gauge it. But then what if the person who makes 70% more or 70% of the income, what if they're holding more debt? Because then they need to get that paid off, right? So I don't know. I think it's just having the conversations and being open and sitting down and seeing like what your financial goals are, where you're at, what you both can afford, what you want to put towards debt. And that leads into another thing. Like, do you think that people should pay off?
Other people should pay off your debt?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that's... So I think that's a hard one because to me, if you enter the relationship with this debt, then it's your responsibility to get yourself out of the debt.
That's
but I think that we can say, okay, if we go to dinner, then I'll pay for it because I know your goal is to get out of debt. I think that there's ways to work around that. If we are living together and I know that you're trying to get out of debt, then I might say, okay, hey, I'll pay 70% of the bills. You pay this so that you can take that $500 a month and put it towards
the point
your
is
bills.
Doing that is taking that $500.
Now, if I give you grace and you're not paying it off and you're ending up buying Starbucks and getting your nails done or getting your beard trimmed or,
I was about to say to you, are your men going and getting their nails done?
Hey, I'm just saying, if they're doing any of those things and I'm home with
your toes
and I'm sitting here giving you a pass, then I'm sorry. You're SOL.
But no, I agree with that if it's your debt coming in, it's your debt. I have heard some couples, like, because one was in a better financial situation and they would just pay it all off. But I don't think I would like that because it's mine. I brought it into it.
So sometimes people get out of divorce and they're drowning, right? Because they went from a double income family as we're dating in our 30s and 40s. They get out of a divorce situation. They incurred half of the debt because that was the marital debt.
Yeah.
And now maybe they're paying alimony. And so there's not a lot left in child support. There's not a lot left over. Then I don't think that that's that person's fault. And if you're going to be in a committed relationship, let's do it together.
Yeah.
I think that every situation is different and it's just about talking about it and not being fearful and not making that person feel bad or guilty
about it.
I mean, I think that that's the biggest thing in any relationship is communication and being able to talk to each other.
Yeah. And I definitely think there's not a one size fits all when it comes to your financial decisions and with your partner and stuff like that, because there's a lot of factors that come into play.
Now, could you be with somebody who repeatedly makes terrible financial decisions? Like if they're gambling,
no,
and that is a decision that they're making, or they're doing excessive things, I'm out. Like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to risk our financial security.
Right. On that. Mm-hmm. No, I wouldn't want somebody that did that, which also made me think about, hey, like, I need to look at some of my own habits or some of my own things too, right? Like the Amazon packages that show up.
Yeah.
And so it's with stuff that you don't need. Now, some of it you need.
Yeah.
Some of it you don't need, but.
And we talked about this in a previous episode, is retraining your kids to meet those financial decisions too. Because when you enter relationships, maybe their kids are used to one way and your kids are used to one way of living. And it's an adjustment between all of you.
Everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. All of you. And so that is also a conversation that you have to have. I do think financial incompatibility is real. I think it's mainly one's just a spender, one's a saver. Yeah. I think a spender and a saver
always end up together, don't they?
But I don't know.
Maybe not always, but they seem to maybe attract each other, because you do always you hear, like, I'm the spender, right? I used to be really good at saving. I did actually when I was a lot younger. I was really, really good at saving. I'm not quite sure what happened. Something flipped. I'm not sure. A switch was flipped. And then I was like, oh, let me spend it. But is financial incompatibility enough reason to not marry somebody that you love?
I do. I think that unless you're going to accept them for who they are and you're going to get over it, then if it's something that you can't get over, you're going to fight about it
all the time,
the rest of your relationship.
Yeah.
And I just
don't
want
to do that.
Yep.
So 40% of U.S. adults in committed relationships told Bankrate that they had kept a financial secret from their current partner.
Yeah, 45% said financial secrets are at least as bad as physical infidelity. I mean, that's crazy to me, but I mean, I get it. If that is something that's affecting your relationship and it's a secret, secrets are secrets, lies are lies.
Yeah. You've all seen like people joking about the wife, like, hiding the Amazon packages that all come in on the front door because she doesn't want her husband to know how much money she's spent, and she's bringing them in and hiding them in the closet. So,
but it does say 62% of committed couples kept at least some money separate. 34% used a mix of joint and separate accounts, and 27% kept finances completely separate. The debate is kind of independence versus deception, not simply joint versus separate. The secrets, overspending.
Well, independence is different than deception. Deception, you're not even talking about it. You don't even know about it. You don't know what's going on. Independence is you're going to keep things separate, but you still, there's a knowledge base
like
there.
you're both contributing X amount in.
Yeah.
But see, even if you're doing that, then I even have, so what happens when you are retired, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one person has a 401k and one person doesn't, and all of a sudden they get sick. If you're in one of those marriages or relationships where everything is separate, and then you get to that age where you're 75 years old and one person has retirement and the other person that was the spender doesn't have anything, then you're footing that bill. So fix it now or you're going to fix it later.
So I do think, though, it probably works better when you work as a team overall, whether you keep your money separate or whatever. If overall you're working together towards one common goal that you both have and you act as a team and you're on the same team, I think that's the biggest thing to remember is that you're on the same team.
Yeah.
You're on the same team. You shouldn't be fighting against each other. So if your financial goals don't align, then you probably don't need to be with somebody.
I mean, I would have just been happy if Andy had a job.
Yeah.
I'm not asking for much in a relationship. No. Can you fog a mirror and can you?
I am. I'm looking for much.
We know. You are. I just want to know if you can fog a mirror and keep a job. That's
oh my God.
And you're a good kisser. There we go. I have 3 things. Amber has 512.
I don't have 512. It's like
511.
It's 10, maybe max.
That's a lie. She is lying today, y'all. So where is the line drawn? So what is the deception versus just a little white secret?
Have you ever lied about what something cost?
To my kids, not to my partner. Yeah, to my kids.
I know. I've always tried to make it sound better. But this Botox only cost me. I got $50 off the vial. Yeah.
No, but I've never lived with anybody other than their dad, and it was all my money.
But I think the thing for me on that, it was my money too. It's not like I was like saying, "Give me your money so I can go buy." But like, no, it was my money that I was spending as well.
I think
he wanted to manage my money too, but
and
he probably should have.
See, I grew up in the car business, and all the guys used to get spiffs on weekends. So basically, if they sold X amount of cars, we'd give them cash, and they would all call it the mama don't know money. They wouldn't tell their wives they'd call it the mama don't know money. And so that would be their money to spend on themselves because their paychecks were going into joint bank accounts.
But shouldn't we all have that? Like, as long as it's known about, like, this is my fun money. This is, as long as you know about it. So were their wives wanted to take it?
Yeah. Because a lot of them also had stay-at-home wives, and so they didn't get them.
See, that's again, like, one size does not fit all. Somebody that has an addiction to something, like, you can't give them access to.
No. So what about secretly helping family members financially? Now, that is something I actually will say that I have told stories about.
Yeah, I've done things or sent money or helped family members out too before. And I probably didn't want them to know about it either. There again, we had separate accounts. It was my money's.
I think, it was more like you keep helping this person and you're a sucker, and they saw it. And it took me years and years and years to see it. Whereas they saw it and I didn't listen because I was offended because you're trying to tell me what to do with my money.
Yeah.
But really and truly, he was trying to protect me.
But sometimes you need to see it for yourself anyways, You're going to do what you want to do.
I think, again, it's having the conversations and knowing what's best for each other.
Yeah.
And listening. But anyways, I think, keeping bonus money or the mama don't know money, I'm a firm believer that somebody always finds out.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody always finds out.
Yeah. And then it's like they're hurt because you didn't tell them about it.
Yeah. And it is.
Yeah.
So, I definitely think infidelity is worse in my opinion, but keeping financial infidelity is still hurtful, and especially depending on how bad it is.
Yeah.
I think that's
well, it's still deception. And the issues with money, literally the fights that people have with money go to a much deeper level too, a much deeper core. It's more emotional.
Yeah, some people love money.
But I think it's not just about the lying or the infidelity part of financial things. I think it's a deeper wound almost like the love of money. and keeping things like that. It's
like Scrooge.
Yeah.
Right. So you have to kind of determine the kind of partner that you're with and the kind of person that you are. Are you generous with your money? Are you, are you Scrooge? Are you counting how much is in your bank account?
Right.
Are you
and hoarding it all?
And hoarding it. There's a Bible verse that says it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to enter heaven.
Right.
And it doesn't necessarily mean a rich person. What it means is somebody who money means everything to.
Right.
And so does money mean everything to somebody?
Right.
And that's your foundation of who you are, because that's not who I am.
No. And is it everything that
defines them?
Yeah. And so do they make everything in the relationship about the money too?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's why.
Because that's miserable.
So I think it hits a much deeper. I think that's why a lot of the financial disagreements that people have carry bigger weight, and why it leads to more arguments and more statistically towards divorces is when you have financial disagreements, because the hurt there behind it is a lot.
Well, and we've talked about this as learning from your parents. I mean, my mom would rob Peter to pay Paul.
Right.
So it took me a long, long, long time to learn how to not emulate her behaviors.
Yeah.
And that's really tough. And then I want to make sure, my middle daughter keeps wanting to go out to eat fast food. And so it's making sure we're teaching our kids to how to be financially responsible too. It's not just in our relationships. It's taking a big look at ourselves.
Yeah, well, because your kids are going to learn they're going to see your habits
and your
too,
discipline
or your lack thereof.
Yeah, lack thereof.
Or your lack thereof. I just told Brian even this week, no more door dashing. We'll go get it, because when you door dash, the food costs $14, but you end up paying $50 for it.
Yeah.
So,
and it's true. I think that when you're dating and you're deciding, to me, like the big questions have to come when you're going to move in with somebody.
Yeah.
To me, that is like the next level. Then when you're going to live with somebody, that's when all the financial questions have to be answered to me.
And you should know before, that is something before you get it. But it's also like, when do you start really finding these things out? Because even if you knew some of this stuff, like, would you want to move in with this person? Right. So
I think that's why when you start to talk about that, then it's a very big question. Some people have the belief that you don't move in together until you are married. And so even more of a reason, when you go through marital classes, a lot of people do premarital counseling, and that's finances and money is one of the things that they cover. And I think it is that important. And so there's a question of, are you wealthy or do you just look expensive? And so in mortgages, we always say that home ownership creates generational wealth. And it does, because when you own a home, it continues to appreciate. You pay down the balance, so your money is going towards something. So
you got
that appreciation becomes an asset, right? Even though it's a debt, it's still something that appreciates.
Yeah.
Versus a car.
Yeah. And it depreciates.
Yeah.
You're building equity in the home.
Right. There's things that people think mean that you're good with money.
Right.
That not necessarily mean that you're good with money.
No. People think making six figures means you're good with money, or having a high credit score means you're good with money. And that's not always the case.
I have seen people that have $1 million houses that are this close to bankruptcy and foreclosure. And I'm guilty. The more money I made, the more I spent.
Yeah.
So when I first started off, I would put everything into Edward Jones. And then Edward Jones would pay me X amount every single month, which paid my bills. And that's it. The rest of it I would save and I would put away. And thank God I did, for when the mortgage industry sank the last 2 years. But I was so good about it. But then the more I made, then I wanted the boat.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got the 4-wheelers. And then finished the basement and the backyard, and 4 trips to Disney in a year, and going to Colorado skiing.
4 trips to Disney?
Yeah. And then we went skiing in Colorado, and I had a personal ski instructor that skied with us for 4 days, just me and my family.
I'm starting to not feel so bad about some of my decisions.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
So I made some poor decisions. And so then I stopped putting as much into that account.
Yeah.
Because
you want to live
that.
This. Yeah.
Yes. And so now, in hindsight, you get humbled sometimes. The mortgage industry dropped, and it took me a minute to stop living the way that I was living.
Yeah.
And so I ate up a lot of that retirement money that I had.
Yeah.
And so I'm back out of debt, but it's easy to happen.
It is.
And so I think that you can't be too judgmental, because it is easy to happen. Just like I said about divorces. And I see people who come out of divorce and it's just a disaster. And it's not that they mean to.
No. Well, and then just the way things are like today, like just everything's more expensive right now. Like you're raising kids and stuff like that. You and I don't have any financial support with that at all. But I get what you're saying because I was the same way. I was like, if I could just make X amount of dollars and then you make X amount of dollars, you hit that number and then you keep, well, if I could just make this amount and then you just keep, but like I
assumed I was going to continue to make the same thing I was making in the height of our industry.
Yeah.
And then I didn't cut fast enough. Yeah. Luckily, it didn't affect my credit. Luckily, I had the money in the bank to offset. But a lot of people don't. Then what happens is they live off credit cards and they live off everything else. And so
I think my favorite thing is Dave Ramsey's quote of you can't out earn stupid.
No,
right?
And I tried.
You cannot out earn stupid. You can't. I mean, like at some point, stupidity will ruin you, basically making stupid decisions.
Just because you have a good credit score does not mean that you are wealthy either.
No.
Well, I mean, at all. What actually matters is your cash flow, like what comes out versus what comes in. Are you actually saving?
Yeah. People buy things because you want to look more successful or you want keeping up with the Joneses now.
Well, I mean, that's been a thing, I think, since
the
beginning of time.
I know. But now it's like even more in your face.
Because it's social media.
Social media and stuff. Yeah. Used to, you just had to look across the street at your neighbor. Now it's like.
So I know that for me, my financial planner will not let me put anything into my investment accounts unless I have 3 months of savings, because you have to have 3 months of all of your bills that you can live off of in case something catastrophic happens. High interest debt. Right now, credit cards are absolutely insanity at 29 and 30% and personal loans at 30+%. I mean, it's insane.
Yeah.
So what actually matters is planning for the things that you can't plan for, right?
Knowing
medical
your cash
emergencies
flow too.
And
you need to know what's coming in and what's going out
for sure. And then retirement accounts. So retirement accounts, even though you're putting into a 401k, when you pull that money out, it's taxed.
Yeah.
So it's not taxed going in, it's taxed coming out. So sometimes you have to think, I'm not giving financial advice, this is just thinking, food for thought. Are you better to pay into a 401k or are you better to put into a Roth? Because in a Roth, you've already been taxed. So is tax now going to be less than or greater than tax when you're 60?
Yeah.
Right? So you have to think about things like that.
Yeah.
And with every president comes new tax rates and incentives. So there's that too.
Yeah.
And
you need a plan too for like high interest debt.
Yes.
Attacking it. You have it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You need to get out of that first.
Yeah. And lifestyle inflation. That's what got me, right?
Yeah,
is that I was making a ton of money and then, mortgage industry didn't crash like it crashed in 07, 08, 2012.
But it slowed. But it's like you had a COVID boom.
Yeah, we had a COVID boom. So obviously we had that boom. There will be a refi boom again, but I am not going to make the same mistake that I made before.
No. We are learning.
Yeah. And so just live within your means and have the hard conversations. I think that there's a really good book, The Millionaire Next Door, and it actually became famous for challenging the idea of wealth as flashy consumption.
Right.
So my dad owned car dealerships here in the Atlanta area, franchised 4 dealerships, and he would take us to school in the most beat up truck. He would wear the most beat up clothes. He would drive this Ford truck that was green, and it literally backfired, and it had rust holes in the bottom. And people would be like, your dad's not Chuck Clancy. You don't own car dealerships. If my dad owned car dealerships, I'd have a Mustang GT convertible, right? And my dad would walk around and he would tell people that he was so broke. He would tell people that he didn't have 2 dimes to rub together.
Yeah. I think that's just goes to show that having, high income is not the same as having a high net worth.
Yeah.
So, but that is funny because they do say a lot of people that have money, you would never know it.
Yeah.
You would not know it from looking at them.
Have you ever bought something that you wanted to look more successful? I have. I've bought a really expensive briefcase.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Really? I probably have. I can't really think of.
Yeah. I already know this answer for you, but what's the one luxury you refuse to cut, even when you're budgeting?
My coffee and my eyebrows.
I knew it. Yep.
I'm doing my eyebrows every year. That's happening.
Oh, what's for me? Getting my toes done.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just something
I can spread that. Well, I mean, I have to do it pretty much monthly or every.
Yeah, I have to get my toes done.
But I
But
don't
if you
have
are a
to
man that likes to give pedicures, I might put you on the list.
Well, we do have one wanting to Venmo us already.
We are still getting live action from our Amber Alert.
Oh yeah, that was great.
What purchase makes you feel rich even though it does nothing for your net worth? Ooh, that's a good one.
That is a good one.
My car.
Yeah.
My car.
Yeah.
Like growing up in the car business, and not just growing up, but I worked in the car business as a general manager. And so I've always had cars. Car is just something that I expect to be nice.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's a car.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you rather make $250,000 and everyone think you're broke, or make $80,000 and everyone think you're rich?
$250,000 and everyone think I'm broke.
Yeah.
So,
at what income do you think people stop living paycheck to paycheck, or do they ever?
Oh, I think this goes back to not spending what you additionally keep earning, right? And learning to live within a certain budget.
I see people who make $500,000 a year and who are absolutely broke. And then I see people who make $40,000 a year and who find it a way to save.
And that is incredible. I think I'm finding that too, even with in the dating world, because there may be some men that don't make as much money as me, but they might even be in a better spot financially than I am, because they have been better with their choices and what they do with their money.
So apparently Amber's just one Starbucks away from generational wealth. That's it. Just one Starbucks away.
That's the only thing that's standing between me. No, I don't believe that.
If only. But it does create stress, right?
Yeah.
The stress of money, it's real.
It is. And it's an emotional thing too. So we did some looking up into some of this, and the American Psychological Association's 2023 Stress in America survey found that 63% of U.S. adults described money as a very significant source of stress. Among adults ages 35 to 44, in fact, that rose to about 77%. That is a huge number.
So mine should have gone down, and damn it, it went up.
Why? Because you fell out of the 35 to 41.
Yeah, and so it says that my stress level should only be 63%, but mine is still at that 77.
Oh, boy. But that is a massive number, though, if you think about it. 77% of adults between the ages are stressed about finances.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Well, and especially with gas prices being at $4 a gallon.
That's a lot. Yeah.
And home prices, home sales, interest rates on mortgages are higher. I mean, I look at the person who's coming in and buying a home, and they're now waiting until they're almost in their 30s because they can't afford a home.
Yeah.
Homes are, a cheap home. You can't find a home under $200,000 unless it's a townhome or a condo.
Yeah.
You can't do it unless it needs a lot of work. Not here in at least Georgia area.
Yeah.
How do these people that are coming out of college making 30, 40 grand, how do they they have to rent, but then they have to have multiple roommates.
Yeah.
Rent is ridiculous too. So I get it. And then you look at adults that are the baby boomers that are now retired, and they're coming in and they're having to downsize their lifestyles. I see all of this as a mortgage lender. It's why our reverse mortgage has become so much more popular now too, is because they can take the equity out of their home and they can use that so that they don't have mortgage payments for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
So they basically pull the equity out so that they never have to have a payment, so that they can use what they're getting for Social Security on living.
But I think too, the reason why it is so emotional is because money is a tangible thing, right? But the reason why it's so emotional is because it's tied to security in your home, being able to eat,
your livelihood. It's tied to your livelihood.
And so without it, or the lack thereof it is stressful, and it becomes an emotional thing. The craziest thing is, even though it has that much of an impact, people rarely talk about it. Yeah. You don't want to talk about it. It's taboo still.
Yeah, it is. It's because it's uncomfortable. And I think that we don't like to have uncomfortable conversations. Those are conversations that have to be done, and then they have to be said instead of putting yourself in a bad financial position. But it's getting out of that mindset and being able to talk to your partner and having those conversations.
Because it's crazy. Like you can date somebody, be together with them, sleep with them, get engaged, plan a whole wedding, and you still are like scared to talk about money.
Yeah.
So, and financial things.
It is. And pride, pride.
It is. I think that's the other thing too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Even on the opposite end, right? Is being fearful that you're going to be called cheap.
Yeah. Yeah. If you
don't want to do something, or you don't want to go to dinner, or you want to stay, are you going to be looked at as being cheap?
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
But is cheap different than frugal? That's a good,
but
you know what I mean?
Again, I would hate to be the man dating nowadays. I really would, because you sit there and
there's so many expectations too.
So many expectations.
Well, and even you talk about how you wouldn't want to be a man. The date I went on, where I had to stop at the Quick Trip to pick up milk or whatever before on the way home. Like he tried to pay for it. I'm like, you're not paying for that. He's like, I would have got it for you. I'm like, it's my milk. Why are you?
Well, and I went on a date and I had to go to Publix after the date, and he's like, well, can I walk with you? Do you want company? And so I said yes. I just had to get turkey and bread and I think milk.
Yeah.
And he bought mine. And I'm like, don't do that.
Yeah.
But it was super sweet. But I mean, obviously, I don't expect somebody to pay for my groceries.
No, I know. That's
what another guy offered to pay for a babysitter once. And he's like, I know you have a 9-year-old, so I'll be happy to pay for the babysitter.
I know Mr. Russell Hartley, the guy on TikTok. He was like, you should be compensated for your time.
That guy is toxic.
He's a mess.
He's toxic.
He's a mess.
Yeah.
But we do have a Venmo. So if you...
Amber, you're a mess.
Oh my God.
But we do judge women spending differently than men spending.
Too. Yeah.
I think
I think that's usually though because the women are the ones that overspend, or they're the spenders a lot of times. And in a lot of cases.
I mean, I know the men that want to spend it on hunting and guns.
Well, that's true too. Yeah.
Fishing poles. I think that for men,
they like toys. They like to have their toys. They like their side-by-sides and and theirs are expensive, honestly.
Versus ours is to make us look better for you.
Yes.
We're just trying to do you a favor.
Yes. We have expectations as well that we're supposed to keep up with for these men. So, I mean, it costs money, boys. It is not cheap.
Of course. So let's go to Snatched and Sketched.
Yay.
Okay. Checking someone's credit before marrying them.
I think that's Snatched Up. Yeah. 100%. You should know before you get married.
I don't think you should check their credit, but I think you should say, hey, let me see your credit card.
No, you should have those conversations before you get married with them anyways.
Refusing to date someone because they're financially unstable. I think that is sketched out.
Really? I thought you said, though, that you had some deal breakers.
I said, give me 12 months. And in this instance, I'll polish the turd.
You polish the turd on this one.
It's usually polish the turd. But on that one, no. I can get anybody out into a financially secure position in 12 months.
You want to get married?
Girl, I've been trying. You don't take it. But hold on, let me even put that caveat in. If you listen to me, I can get you out of debt in 12 months and get your credit score. I can turn a turd into a piece of gold in 12 months.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay. What about a prenup?
I actually believe in prenups.
Yeah. I don't see any problem with it. I mean, I think it's good to protect yourself, but also marriage is supposed to be a covenant and not a contract.
Well, I think there's a difference. If you're entering a marriage in a relationship and you're in your 20s and neither of you have shit.
Yeah. Why?
Why? Because trust that you inherit, anything that you is already protected. But if you are,
I guess to me, because I would never try to take something that was somewhat like, what you build together, right? Split. Right. Whatever you built together, split. But if you marry somebody and they came into it in a much better financial situation than you, or vice versa or whatever, like, don't try to take that.
There are a lot of people that are looking for somebody to support them.
Okay.
That one hits close to home. So I believe in prenups.
Yeah.
Separate checking accounts after marriage. I mean, I think that's snatched up or sketched out. It really just depends on your preference.
Yeah, and the communication going between. Yeah.
Splitting bills 50-50 when one partner earns twice as much. I think that's sketched out.
I think that's sketched out too.
Yeah, I think that's sketched out.
Yeah, that's not really fair.
Calling off an engagement after discovering $75,000 of hidden debt.
First of all, it shouldn't have been hidden. I could see wanting to do that, or like wanting to call that if it was just, hey,
hidden is the word there. That's hidden, what makes it snatched up.
If you know about it already and you've gone all this way and then you want to call it off at the last minute, I think that would be crappy or whatever. But no, if you didn't disclose it from the beginning, no, that's wrong.
One spouse getting an allowance because they're terrible with money.
I will take an allowance.
Snatched up.
I will be glad to take an allowance.
Loaning money to someone you date is sketched out.
Sketched out.
I will tell you, you will never look at that person again the same way. Now, I will say this. There was one time where I had to, I don't know what it was for, but I needed $3,000 and I didn't have it in my checking account, and it was going to take 3 days for me to get it from Edward Jones to my account. And so he had it and I didn't have it in my checking account at the time. I don't remember what it was for. It was for something, a large purchase. And so literally he gave it to me and I gave it back up to him in 3 days.
That sounds like some Kevin Hart stuff. See, I got a checking and a savings and my checking.
But it was true.
Have you seen that episode?
Yes.
Okay.
But in that instance, he was not loaning me money. It was literally, I will Venmo it right back to you. And I did. And so to me, loaning money is something that's a little more prolonged than.
Oh, that is. Yeah. That's not, floating.
Paying off your boyfriend or girlfriend's debt. Now, I don't think you should be paying off anybody's debt until you are engaged.
I think so too.
Until you have that long-term. Going into debt for a wedding, I think that's sketched out.
I think that is too.
I mean, I love these girls that have these beautiful weddings, and I would love to have a beautiful wedding, but I am also not going to go in debt for a wedding. If you don't have it put aside, then don't do it.
Well, I think that is snatched up. No, okay. I do want to have that wedding though, but I don't want to go into debt for it.
So she's going to find a fairy godmother that's going to turn a pumpkin into a carriage.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just show up on her doorstep.
Yes. So whoever wants to be my fairy godmother. Because I think people regret it afterwards.
We need y'all to share all of our episodes so that we can become rich and Amber can have her fairy godmother
my dream wedding.
Her dream wedding.
I just got to find the groom.
Oh, I found you 769 of them.
Oh God.
Yeah.
No.
Keep a treating yourself budget while paying off debt.
I think that's snatched up. I think you still should, obviously it depends on your financial situation, but who wants to sit there and not be able to ever do anything and enjoy anything?
Yeah, I actually agree. I think that's snatched up.
Yeah, I think you should, as long as it's
long as you don't
to an extreme.
Taking from. This one I have a hard time with. One person handling 100% of the household finances while the other knows almost nothing.
Now, I would say, again, the context behind this. So snatched up if the person actually takes care of what they're supposed to be taking care of. Now, sketched out if they're doing some shady stuff with it. You have no clue what's going on. Now, if it's because the man is the man and he's taking care of business and you don't have to worry about finances or anything like that, and he gives you your allowance or whatever, I think it's fine. I wouldn't mind my man taking care of 100% of the finances.
So I am going to tell you why I don't believe in that. And I tell all of my girls as well. If that other person dies, be it your wife or your husband, and you know nothing, then guess what? You know nothing.
Yeah.
You know nothing.
Yeah.
And so I've actually seen people who had life insurance policies, but didn't know where they were or who they were with. If you are going to let them handle, you better know how much life insurance do we have? What are our debts? Who all do we owe? It needs to be on a spreadsheet that you know how to get to. Now, they can handle the paying for it, but you never know when somebody's going to get hit by a Mack truck.
Yeah.
So, and how about moving in together mainly because rent is too expensive alone?
That's sketched out. That's sketched out.
Oh, but you know what? On our next episode, guess what we're talking about?
I'm sexy and I know it.
Where we talk about confidence, body image, libido,
and what makes us tick.
So money affects almost every decision we make.
But being good with money isn't just about what you earn or what you buy.
It's what you value, what you plan for, and whether you can actually talk about it.
especially with the people that you are building a life with.
So talk about the debt, talk about the accounts, talk about the goals.
And maybe even keep that $7 coffee if it brings you joy.
Okay, Amber.
Until then,
let's get snatched up.